This is the last Halloween themed episode, and we're going to go out with a bang on Halloween themed movies. We're going to rank them, we're going to put them in a tier list, and we're going to have some fun. I'm ending with a list of Halloween themed movies. Now they're not necessarily horror movies. Some of them are. Some of them are just spooky family movies, different things. I don't know. We're going to go through the list. I kind of skimmed through the list briefly, and there's some classic movies on here. Classic movies you might watch during the month of October. They probably all have a little bit of that horror, spooky theme to it, but some of these are classic family favorites. So before I get into it, I want to start just telling you guys to comment at the beginning of these videos because not everybody always watches through to the end. I know these can be sometimes longer videos. And honestly, you know what? On YouTube, you can play it back at different speeds. Feel free to watch my videos at a different, higher speed, you know? If nothing else, I'd just love for you guys to see all the content in the video and maybe even interact a little bit in the comments because I check all my comments, at least at this point. I'm not a huge channel or anything yet. So anyways, I don't want to take too long here. Let's just leave a comment on what your S tier, what your favorite Halloween, October, movies are to watch, whether scary or just spooky, family friendly, whatever. Leave that in the comments below and watch along and see how you agree. As usual, also in the description, I'm not sure if people are aware of this, but in the description, I put this same tier list that I'm doing. I give you a link to it and you can rank it yourself. Now I do adjust sometimes the tier itself, like they sometimes have a different tier and I add different things to keep format similar. But anyways, you can go take the tier list. I was gonna say the test. It's not a test, it's your opinions, but feel free to rank. Ranking is fun and that's what this channel is all about. So anyways, we're gonna get into it. Let's pull up this tier list. We've got famous, popular, classic type Halloween, October themed movies. We'll start right off here with A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night. I've never heard of this movie at all. So that's gonna go in the haven't seen. Never heard of it. That's a bit weird. Addams Family. This is like the animated Addams Family. And I actually never saw the animated one. But that leads us into, I'm going to start here with just regular Addams Family. This is the classic. I mean, it's not the classic. Classic was a TV show, which I did watch. But this is the classic movie that we tend to think about as the Addams Family. And I liked it. I mean, back in the day, I liked it. So I guess how am I doing this tier list? I guess it's just on when I do movies and stuff. I'm going to go by either kind of a general, like, how did I feel about that franchise or movie? Like, do I have a nostalgic feeling for it? Do I want to watch it again? Like, what is I call it the thirst in a sense. What's the thirst for this movie? Is this a movie that I would watch over and over again? Addams Family. And I'm going to specifically say, would I watch this over again as a October Halloween theme movie? Not of all time movies. So if I had to watch a movie in October, a Halloween themed movie, would I watch Addams Family? This would be up there. It would be up there for me. I would definitely watch it again. So I'm going to actually put this at an A. I don't know if it's S. It could be S. I got to see what else is on this list, but it's certainly an A for me. And right along with it is Addams Family Values. I mean, I don't remember the differences between the two movies. It's been so long, but I would equally at this point watch them both. So we'll put those next to each other. Another set of movies here, All Hallows Eve. I have never watched those, so we'll just quickly put those there. Amityville Horror. I don't think I've seen either, or Amusement. Sorry, we're just going to kind of move past those quick. But then we get to Army of Darkness, and I assume Evil Dead will be somewhere on here, but let's stick with Army of Darkness for right now. Army of Darkness is an S tier for me. That's very easy for me to rate. Those are just classic movies. Army of Darkness was sort of the culmination of that Evil Dead series, the classic Evil Dead series, and it's that campy horror. I mean, it is technically horror, but it's so campy and filled with comedy and stuff that it doesn't feel overly horror. But that's an enjoyable one. I would definitely watch that. Again, As Above, So Below. This is another one I've never heard of. Have you guys seen these ones that I've never heard of? The Autopsy of Jane Doe. Nah, I feel like I have heard of that. I don't know. I never saw it. But Beetlejuice. Now, this is interesting because I just rewatched Beetlejuice because we are going to watch Beetlejuice soon, which I still have not yet seen. And I don't think that's going to be on this list. But Beetlejuice, I remembered it fondly as a kid, seeing it years and years ago, and I've watched it here or there throughout my life. But upon watching it just in the last week or so, I found it to be really boring. In fact, I fell asleep watching it. It was much more boring than I remembered it to be. The plot, everything really wasn't that great. So unfortunately, I'm actually going to put this all the way down to a C, because I still would probably pick it over something below. I mean, we'll see how that goes, but Beetlejuice would not recommend right now. Creature from the Black Lagoon, some of these old ones I haven't seen, but The Blair Witch Project. Boy, this movie had a lot of hype when it came out. Was it real? You know, everybody thought this movie was real. This is the first found footage movie, pretty much. People didn't know if it was real or not. And I saw it. I got into the hype. I went and saw it, and it was a creepy movie. Would I watch it again? I would. More than Beetlejuice. I think I'd give it another shot, but not very high. I'll put it as a B. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Never saw it. Anything Medea. No thanks. Classic. The original Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I loved this movie back in the day, and I have not seen it in a while, but I can tell you right now, if just like, pulling up some of these movies and stuff, this one I would get excited for. So this is a clear S tier for me. I never really got into the show. This was always like my Buffy, I never got into the show, but this movie is classic and I would happily watch it again. In fact, I should look it up. I'm getting excited just thinking about it. I haven't seen it in a long time, so I'm curious if it actually holds up. But up to this point, I don't know if it holds up, so it's going into S tier for me. Cabin in the Woods. If I remember correctly, Cabin in the Woods. I'm gonna look up quick. I think that's the Joss Whedon movie. Cabin in the Woods. Yeah, Joss Whedon wrote it. Okay. Cabin in the Woods. It is what I thought it was. I have seen it, and I did like it, and I would definitely watch it again. I don't remember that it's S tier, but that's for sure going to be A tier. It kind of plays off classic horror movie themes, tropes, as some say. It was a fun one. I would recommend checking it out for sure. It's unique. I don't want to spoil it for you, so check it out. It's not like, I don't remember it being overly scary or anything, but it's, it still falls under that category. Captain Underpants Halloween. Never saw it. Never watched the Captain Underpants. Next we have Carrie. I don't know if the other Carrie is on here. I'm not going to sit here and check. Maybe we'll come across it. I did not see the original Carrie, so I'm going to put that as a haven't seen, but I did see the remake Carrie with that girl. I can't think of her name, but I saw the remake, and if we were going on the remake of Carrie, I would probably put that at around a B. I don't super remember it, but anyways, Casper. Classic Casper with Christina Ricci, who is also in Addams Family. I watched it several times back in the day, but would I want to watch it now? I'll give it a B category. Now that this is the live action mixed with the computer animation. It's not a fully animated movie or anything. I think I would probably rather watch Casper over like Beetlejuice. So I think B is a good spot to put it in. I'm fine with that. Chopping Mall. Never saw it. Don't know what it is. I never saw The Citadel. Corpse Bride. I have seen, and it is not as good as like Nightmare Before Christmas, which is that a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie? Hard to know. I don't know if it's on this list. I didn't look. But Corpse Bride, that's what we're ranking right now. Tim Burton claymation type animated movie. Honestly, this is probably a C for me, just because the kind of the animation, like I don't care for that as much. Which also, as we get into Coraline, I do believe I watched Coraline once, but again, that's going to kind of fall under that same thing, the animation. It's nothing I'm going to go to, not really. A Crimson Peak, never heard of it. Don't know what that is. Donnie Darko. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to put this under haven't seen. I have skirted with watching Donnie Darko for years. I just never have committed myself to watching it. I don't know why. I just can't bring myself to watch it for some reason. So that's where it's going to have to go. Now, Dracula. I don't know which Dracula this is. I'm not sure that I've seen this Dracula. There was a Dracula called Dracula 2000. I'm going to say I haven't seen this because I'm not sure that I have. And then we've got these spooky stories movies. I never saw those. Ernest Scared Stupid. Now, this is a classic movie that I watched a lot of. I was a big Ernest fan. I don't know if the rest of you are. He's been dead for a while. The guy who played him, Jim Varney, I believe was his name. But I loved Ernest movies. Me and my brother watched them a lot, and we especially watched Ernest Scared Stupid. As an adult now, I probably would assume it's not going to hold up too well, but sort of with the Addams Family and nostalgia and everything, I would give it a watch again, just out of curiosity, if nothing else. So I'm going to put that as an A. Escape from Tomorrow, never heard of it. And here we go. We've got Evil Dead. 1 and 2 are coming up here. Let's just go in order. So Evil Dead, that's the first one. We've already ranked Army of Darkness. Would I watch Evil Dead again? Yes, but not as much as Army of Darkness. So Evil Dead's going to go in A. Evil Dead was, I believe, trying to be a little bit more horror before it kind of moved into the more campy vibes, like of Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness. So Evil Dead 2, I would put as an S because I think it's better than Evil Dead. They're kind of the same movies, but just in a different perspective, sort of. I don't know. It's weird. Check them out. It's not like overly horror, but definitely that campy B-style horror. Great movies. I would, watch them. Exorcism of Emily Rose. Never saw it. Never saw Eyes Without a Face. Final Destination, I'm going to put as I haven't saw because I don't remember it, but there's part of me that feels like I have seen it, but I'm going to put it there for now. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. I never did see that. Never saw it. Frankenweenie, I did see, and I have no desire to see it again. I don't even really remember it. I feel like it's related to Corpse Bride, sort of, but I'm gonna put it as a D. I don't wanna watch that one again. Friday the 13th. I'm not sure if I ever saw the original Friday the 13th, so I'm gonna put that there. Ghostbusters 1 and 2. We'll start with Ghostbusters 1. I would definitely watch these again. I don't think they're going to hold up as well. And let's see, the first one kind of culminated with, it was the Gozer or something, the Stay Puffed Marshmallow Man. Just probably going to go in like the B tier for me, probably for both of them. Like I would definitely watch them again, but I don't have a strong desire to see them again. I'd probably rather see the newer ones. Ginger Snaps, I don't think I ever saw Ginger Snaps. The Goosebumps movie, I did see. Kind of a family scary movie. Goosebumps, that's sort of that's sort of what its deal is. Kind of family horror, family friendly-ish. I would watch Goosebumps again, I think. More of like an A. Like I have a little bit more desire to see that one than some of these other ones. For now, I'm going to put it there. Halloween, I've never seen a Halloween movie, so unfortunately all these Halloween ones are going to have to go there. Halloween Town, oh, what in the world is that? Some Disney Channel movie? Never saw it. Hell House, haven't seen these Hell Houses. Hereditary, Hocus Pocus. So Hocus Pocus, this is one that a lot of people like. Classic one. I know I have seen it. It's been a long time. I'm not a fan of witches or witch-themed things, so I have no desire to see this at all. And this is going to make a lot of people upset, but that is going to go into F. I would rather watch Frankenweenie. So that's your first F. Holidays, never seen it. House on Haunted Hill. This is like an old classic one that I've obviously never seen, but it's been remade. In fact, we've got Haunted Hill. I know I have seen this. I don't recall it deeply, but I have seen Haunted Hill. Where would I put that? I'm gonna put it. What's my desire to watch this movie again? As a Halloween themed type movie, I'd probably put it as a B. I'd be willing to give that one a go. The House with a Clock in the Wall or something. House with Clocks in the Walls. I can't quite see the title, but it's something like that. I have seen it. It was okay. It's kind of in that Goosebumps realm. Jack Black's in it and stuff. I'd probably give this one a shot over like Ghostbusters. I'll put it as an A. I'd watch it again. House, don't know. Insidious. What is Insidious? Let me do a little checkup again, because is Insidious what I think it is? No, it is not. I have not seen Insidious. It's not what I thought. So, sorry, moving on. It. All these It things. Haven't seen it. It's a Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. This is a classic Charlie Brown thing. Honestly, some of the Charlie Brown stuff's pretty boring, but they're shorter, so that helps. I'll put it as a B. I'm not going to run to it, but I don't mind it. It's fine. Jeepers Creepers. I really feel like I've seen this, but I have no memory of it whatsoever. So I'm going to have to put it haven't seen, because I can't be certain. Ju-on, never saw it. Land of the Dead, don't believe I've seen that specifically. Let the Right One In, no. Midsummer, I've never seen it, but that's a unique cover. Interesting. Monster House. This is, I believe, an animated movie that I've never seen. Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't think I saw the original Nightmare on Elm Street. I have seen a couple of them later on in the franchise, but I don't believe I ever saw the original. I want to say I saw like the fourth one or something, maybe like the fourth and fifth, or anything beyond that point. Never did see the original. Over the Garden Wall. That's an animated movie, looks like, and I don't think I've ever heard of it. I've never seen it. I'm not a big fan of animated movies, but I'm curious. I don't know what it is. Paranormal Activity. I've never seen it. Paranorman. Never saw Paranorman. Piranha 3D. I started to watch it, I think, briefly, and I don't think I got through it, but I didn't like it. But I did start to watch it, so I guess I'm going to rank it, and in that case, I'll put it as a D. I would rather watch it over Hocus Pocus, for sure. Poltergeist. I never saw Poltergeist. Heffalump Halloween. That is some sort of Winnie the Pooh themed thing, but I don't think I've seen it, so I'm going to put it there. Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies. I have been trying to get my family to watch this for years because we love Pride and Prejudice as a family. Like the Keira Knightley movie, it is basically probably I would consider my favorite movie of all time. It's pretty much I think it's my wife's as well. We all love it. We've seen it so many times. I can't get them to watch Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies. I get it. My kids, I've got 2 daughters. They don't like that kind of stuff much. Any like horror type stuff. But I like horror type stuff. And I don't remember this movie specifically, but again, if I had to go kind of based on like my interests, I love zombie stuff. I love zombie movies. I love Pride and Prejudice. This is an S. I wouldn't have thought it, but for ranking by like what's my thirst to watch these movies again and stuff, Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies. That is going to be like, I would pick that over like, I want to see it right now. The rest of these are kind of like, when you get into the A and B, it's like, oh, if I finish off like these S tiers, maybe I'll go, move down the list. But Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies, that would be the top for me, which you're probably getting to understand what kind of movies I like a little bit as time goes on. Psycho. I never actually saw Psycho. Never saw it. Resident Evil. It's already been in my videos. It's already gotten an S tier in the franchise. I would watch. This is the last one? I can't tell. I think it might be the last Resident Evil movie. Either way, it doesn't matter. They're all S tier for me. I would watch Resident Evil movies over and over again. I love them. Ringu. Never saw a Ringu. Never saw Rocky Horror Picture Show. I've already put that as low in another video. Rosemary's Baby, never saw it. Scary Movie, which is not really actually that scary. It's more of a spoof comedy movie. One of those really silly type movies. Where would I put this? Boy, there was a time when I loved this kind of stuff. There's part of me that wants to put it like A, because I think I would sort of enjoy watching it again. But I also know that it's going to be kind of crappy. I don't think I love this kind of a movie much anymore. So I'm going to put it as a B for now. Could be an A. Could be. Scary Stories. I don't think I saw this. This was on my kind of list of movies that I would like to see, but I never did watch it yet. Any of the Scooby-Doo movies I have not seen, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it. Scream. I mentioned this, I believe, before. I have never seen any of the Scream movies. If we had a tier list of interest in movies that I've never seen, Scream probably would be up there, just out of curiosity to give it a shot. Shaun of the Dead. This is a good one. In fact, this is probably going to be S tier. It falls into that comedy bit a little bit. You know, it's got the comedy, entertainment. It's kind of a horror-y movie. It's kind of like that Army of Darkness sort of vibes, you know, falls into that. I would watch Shaun of the Dead again. I've watched it a couple times already. Signs. M. Night Shyamalan. This, I don't remember this movie as much as some of his other ones. This is one that a lot of people tend to like. I do like M. Night Shyamalan movies, so I've always been a pretty big fan. This is teetering on S to me as far as like would I want to watch it again, because I do like M. Night Shyamalan movies, but I think I'm gonna put it in A. I don't think I want to watch it as much as these S tier ones, but it would be like a high A for me. Silent Hill. I know I've seen it because I liked the video games, not as much as Resident Evil, but they were fun. I don't remember it that much, but because it is like that video game themed, I would watch Silent Hill. Would be a higher one that I would watch for this month. That's where I'd put that. Treehouse of Horror Simpsons. Just generic Treehouse of Horror. Well, I've seen a lot of them. I don't know that this is like a specific movie. Maybe it is. But I guess I'm just going to rank on Treehouse of Horror for The Simpsons. That'd be probably one of the only animated things I would want to watch again. I like The Simpsons, and I would certainly watch a few episodes of Treehouse of Horror. Yeah, S tier. Sleepy Hollow. I don't remember it. I know I saw it. Is this a Tim Burton movie? I mean, it's got the classic look of Tim Burton, classic actors of Tim Burton movies. I'd have to look that up, but I don't want to look it up right now. Would I watch this again? I don't remember it. I don't have an exact fondness or non-fondness of it, so I'm going to put it as the B category. Like, I do want to watch it, but because I don't super remember it, I don't think it's going to beat out the A category. Boy, what is this? I can't even tell what this is. I don't know what this is. I can't read the title. It's so small, but I'm pretty sure I haven't seen it. So I'm going to put it in the haven't seen category. If anybody in the comments wants to tell me what that movie is, go ahead. Suspiria? I don't know what that is. Haven't seen it. Oh, there's two of them. Suspiria? Okay. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I did not see the classic one, which I assume that's the classic one. I'm just guessing. Didn't see it. The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad. I am certain I have seen this. This is kind of the classic Sleepy Hollow one that I would have remembered. Not gonna super want to see it. I don't know. There's like a level of nostalgia. I'll put it here. I'll give it a B. Of all the animated things, I'm slightly curious to see how that one held up. The Blob, never saw The Blob, never saw The Conjuring. The Craft, this is an F tier. It goes with The Witches. This one's even worse. I'd probably watch Hocus Pocus over The Craft if we were getting all the way down to my F tier. The Craft is just a little too witchy for me. I never saw The Exorcist. The Faculty, I feel like, just like Final Destination, I feel like I've seen The Faculty, but I cannot for the life of me remember. So that's going to have to go haven't seen. The Fog, I haven't seen. The Fourth Kind. The Frighteners, this had Michael J. Fox, and it was also, I believe, written and directed by Peter Jackson. I was going to say Samuel Jackson. No, Peter Jackson, the director, writer of, I believe he wrote it, but Lord of the Rings. This is what he did before Lord of the Rings. He made a horror movie, sort of. It's light horror, but honestly, I would watch this again. This probably be A tier. I am very curious to see that. I'm just gonna double. Yeah. I just want to make sure make sure I was talking about the right movie. I am right. It's the Michael J. Fox. Okay. The Host. Oh, what is The Host? I gotta look this one up. Because is this what I think it is, the Korean movie? Yes, it is the Korean, or I don't know if it's, yeah, I think it's Korean. Looking at the names. Yeah. Seoul. Yes, I did see this movie, The Host. I don't especially remember it, but this is the kind of horror type movie that I like to watch. More of a thriller, monster related movie. And because of that, this is going to be S tier for me, because I would definitely want to watch this one again. This would be a top one for me to rewatch, even though I can barely remember it. But it's like the kind of movie I like. Anyways, The Innkeepers. I have never seen The Innkeepers. The Lighthouse. I don't believe I've seen that. I'm not even sure if I've heard of it. The Mummy. The Mummy. I would watch The Mummy again. That's a classic, just kind of adventure movie. I would hardly call it like a Halloween type movie or whatever, but I understand. I mean, it's got like a creature in it, The Mummy, but A tier for me. That would be an A tier movie. Along with its sequel, The Mummy Returns, that would also be A tier. Almost S, to be honest. I would rather watch those other S ones than The Mummy, I think. But man, The Mummy was good. It was classic. It would be a high A for me. Might be the first one in the A category I'd watch. The Omen I never saw. People Under the Stairs I never saw. I never saw The Purge. Oops. The Town That Dreaded Sundown. Never heard of it. Never heard of the Vivitch. I think that's just I don't know. Never heard of it. True Crimes. Never heard of it. Are we just down to like stuff I've never seen or heard of? Because Toy Story of Terror. I didn't even know that was a thing. Trick or Treat. Heard of it. Okay. Well, Twilight. Where's Twilight gonna go? I've seen Twilight, the sparkly vampires. I like vampire stuff, typically speaking. I don't think Underworld's on this list, but I would certainly consider Underworld on this list, and that would be an S tier for me. But Twilight, ugh, what do I do with Twilight? How much do I want to see Twilight over other things? Gosh, it's probably gonna honestly be a B. Yeah. I'd rather probably watch it than the movies below it. It's a little over dramatic. I do sometimes like the young adult novel type themed movies. Twilight's mediocre. Van Helsing, Hugh Jackman played Van Helsing. This is going to be kind of in that mummy sort of category of adventure, actiony type stuff. This is it's like a teeter between A and S. There's a part of me that says I'd want to watch Van Helsing over these other ones. Boy, that is tough. Do I want to give it S? I've only seen it a couple of times. I don't remember it. So for that, I should probably put it as an A. Like the other ones I know for sure I want to watch. Like this one's like right up there. A's still good. The Curse of Were-Rabbit. That is a Wallace and Gromit movie. Never saw it. What We Do in the Shadows. I don't think I've seen it. Looks like the rest of this list is stuff I haven't seen. So this is the list. Do I want to adjust anything? I mean, I'm still not sure about The Mummy and Van Helsing. It's like, do they get a bump to S tier? Obviously, I don't like heavy horror movies. A lot of these movies are teetering on that edge of family friendly and not overly horror. Probably, yeah, gives you a little bit of an insight as to what kind of person I am, I suppose, or what I'm interested in as far as when it comes to Halloween horror themed movies. But I think I'm gonna leave this list as is. I think The Mummy and Van Helsing will stay. They're a high A though. In fact, just for fun, let's move. I can't even fit it in at the front. Oh, there it is. Van Helsing, front of the line, and then Mummy and Mummy Returns. I don't usually move them in that order. The order doesn't really matter, but I'm just saying like it's ready. It's ready to go to S tier. So yeah, that's it. That is my list of Halloween themed movies. This was a big list to get through. It was a long video, but Tell me what yours are. What do you think? What movies would you watch? Which use that as your as your guide. What movies would you want to watch again for the month of October? Not necessarily your favorite movies of all time, but just like October Halloween themed movies or spooky movies. How would you rate it? What's your S tier? Let me know. Do you have any in the F tier? I did 2 of them, and people aren't going to like Hocus Pocus being in F tier. It's one that a lot of people like. I don't. I'm not one of them. And that's fine. Just remember, we can all disagree and still get along. Just we'll find a common ground movie that we'll forget about Hocus Pocus. We'll find a common ground movie. Anyways, leave me those comments, like and subscribe to this, video, subscribe to this channel so you get all my video goodness. Hit that bell button, that'll tell you when I post a new video. And until next time, I will see you on the next Quest for Tears.